Hello girls, very good morning ma. So I am starting this pharmacology in the leftover topics. Right now I am discussing about vitamins and minerals. You doesn't need any introduction because you read about these vitamins and minerals in depth in nutrition first year, isn't it? And also mostly in medical surgical nursing, usually we teach patients and we eat, that this nutrition becomes a part of our ward teachings and classes in every session of our medical surgical nursing, and also the health talks will be given by you to the patients also. So but whatever it is, but this is my responsibility to complete this topic in pharmacology. So the pharmacology related things you may not be much familiar, but most of the subject you might have known about this subject. Okay, so first, vitamins. There are 13 essential vitamins. You know what are these 13 essential vitamins? A, B, C, D, E. That is A, B, C, D, E, and K. Okay, and among B vitamin there are again 8 vitamins in B complex, and many minerals in the minerals that the body requires for optimal health. These 13 vitamins divided into two groups. Four are fat soluble vitamins, that is ADEK, and 9 are water soluble vitamins, that is 8 B vitamin, vitamins that belongs to B, and then vitamin C. So A, D, E, K fat soluble vitamins, and complete B vitamins and vitamin C are water soluble vitamins. They are fat soluble and water soluble. So anyone is following a restricted diet or have certain health conditions. However, one may need a multivitamin or other dietary supplements. So for the patients, when you are allotted a patient in medical surgical nursing clinical experience, usually you will be asking about their nutritional habits and the problems related to the nutrition also, isn't it? So naturally these you may be coming across many problems, nutritional problems of the patient. So naturally you will be explaining about the requirements of the vitamins for that particular patient and what type of food they are supposed to take. So such type of health talks may be given by you in such conditions. Okay, so the body requirement, sometimes if the patient is not taking food properly, and there is very insufficient food intake of that patient, naturally the doctor prescribes multivitamin. Understand? So that is a combination of different vitamins, together they will be giving, that is multivitamin tablets. Okay, then next, minerals. Inorganic molecules, essential for they are inorganic molecules, and they are essential for human survival, no caloric value, and they are not degraded by cooking or digestion. Okay, so actually these minerals means we find in the nature, that is iron, copper, zinc. All these are usually we find outside the body in the form of metal, or sometimes in other forms. Okay, so naturally, for example, if at all we want to take iron, means we cannot buy the iron metal, right? So that is why that will be supplemented by other foods, like iron is rich in green leaves, iron is rich in jaggery, then ragi. Okay, for non-vegetarians also there will be a very rich iron will be available in the non-veg, I mean in non-veg also, that is chicken, meat, fish, all these things. So mostly the milk, milk, green leaves, then jaggery, then drumsticks, ragi. All these contains very high, rich of iron. So these minerals are very necessary for the body, which includes calcium, chromium, copper, iodine, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, and zinc. So all these things are read by you in your high school classes, and also in the intermediate, and also in first year of your BSc nursing. So totally in first year this topic has been covered in detail. The minerals and trace elements are mainly found in meat, cereals, fish, milk, and dairy foods, vegetables, dried fruits, and nuts. So we will just complete the topic first, vitamins. The total vitamins we will discuss, and then afterwards, after this, we are going to discuss minerals. Okay. So vitamins are organic compounds needed for normal function, growth, and maintenance. Cofactors, and they are not energy sources. What is the definition of vitamins? Vitamins are essential organic compounds that are required in very small amount and are involved in fundamental functions in the body, such as growth, maintenance of health, and metabolism. Of course, you know this definition very well. The word vitamins comes from the Latin word vita and means life. So already we discussed this classification: fat soluble and water soluble. Fat soluble are A, D, E, K. Water soluble are B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B9, B12, and C vitamin. So here the names, the names of these vitamins also. B1 is thiamine, B2 is riboflavin, B3 is niacin, B5 is pantothenic acid, B6 is pyridoxine, B7 is biotin, B9 is folic acid, B12 is cyanocobalamin. Okay, and vitamin C, of course, it is called as ascorbic acid. Actually, in the class, this is just a discussion class. Most of the topics you are supposed to contribute, because this is an online class. I am alone covering. Actually, most of the subject you know. Then vitamin A. Coming to a vitamin. Vitamin A is fat soluble vitamin. Vitamin A used in food industry as orange, that is colorant. Then this is for antioxidant nature. Then this is stored in the liver, important for sight, that for eye, that is for vision. Deficiency causes night blindness, xerophthalmia, dryness, dry skin. Of course, this is going to be discussed in continuation. Next, vitamin A. There are three forms of vitamin A we can find: retinol, retinol, and retinoic acid. The sources are animal in the form of retinol, vegetables, provitamins, that is carotins, which are converted to vitamin A in liver. Normal laboratory values, the adult needs. The adult laboratory values, that is when we give the blood, the normal range should be between 20 to 30 millimicrograms per deciliter. What are the functions of vitamin A? Control the gene expression through two types of transcription receptors, the RAR, that is retinoic acid receptors, and RAXR, that is retinoid X receptors. Then control epithelial cell proliferation and differentiation, that is retinoic acid. Formation of rhodopsin for night vision. Deficiency causes xerophthalmia, night blindness. Then it starts with the biter spots. Then again xerophthalmia. Here it has given first night blindness, then xerophthalmia, first biter spots that will be appeared on the sclera of the eye with the ash colored patch, the scar. Then if still it is not cured, then neglected, then that will be complicated as erythrophthalmia and finally night blindness. So you may be knowing about night blindness. How means the person or the child cannot identify the things that is in the night, that is during dark, the dark. So daylight they can vision, they can have their vision normally, but as the daylight ceases, then under these lights they cannot identify the things. So that is night blindness. So deficiency causes are inadequate dietary intake, pregnancy, lactation, malabsorption syndrome, hepatobiliary disease. Then clinical manifestations. Xerophthalmia involves xerosis, that is dryness of eye, bitter spots, keratomalacia. What is keratomalacia? That is softening of cornea, corneal opacities, night blindness, and progressing to total blindness. Dry and rough skin with papilla, keratinization of bronchopulmonary epithelium, increased susceptibility for infections, diarrhea due to unhealthy gastrointestinal mucosa, then growth retardation. So here you can observe the bitter spots and dryness of eye. The upper one is the keratomalacia, softening of cornea. Then the uses are tretinoin, that is all trans retinoic acid, and adapalene, isotretinoin, then tazobactam, that is synthetic retinoid, and acne vulgaris. So alitretinoin, that is capsulic sarcoma, then beta carotene in skin photosensitivity in erythropoietic protoporphyria, then retinoic acid, that is oral leukoplakia, and retinoin that leads to that requires promyelocytic leukemia. Okay. So these are the, when the retinoic acid is lacking, then oral leukoplakia and retinoin, and then that leads to promyelocytic leukemia. Then acetylene and tazotine, these are the tablets that is used in the form of acetylene and tazorotine, used for to treat psoriasis. Then children with measles are given vitamin A, and along with the measles the children will be given vitamin A solution as a prophylactic treatment. So first the first dose is 1 lakh international units, and then the second, and after every 6 months the child will be given, that is first during along with the measles vaccine, in the month of 10th month of the child 1 lakh international units will be given, and after that 1.5 year the second dose, that is 2 lakhs international units, then 1.5, then 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. So like that the 2 doses, 2 lakhs will be given to the child. Then vitamin D, this is also known as calciferol due to its role in calcium absorption. Main role is maintain calcium and potassium levels. Only fat soluble vitamin produced within the body in the presence of sunlight, and this can be made from cholesterol. Then this vitamin D can be present in sunlight, we know. very well. That is why, especially during this COVID period, everyone, most of the messages are we are receiving that we should stand in the sunlight for 15 minutes in the morning and evening for 15 minutes, so that vitamin D will be prepared, the absorbed into the sunlight. We receive the sunlight, and the skin prepares vitamin D, and then that will be increasing the resistance against the COVID virus, coronavirus. Then how this vitamin D is stored? Vitamin D2 and D3, D1, D2, D3. So in active forms, that is in the hormones, we can see this vitamin D in the form of ergocalciferol, calcitriol. Then the sources are fish, liver oil, milk products. Laboratory values for adults, calcitriol has to be 15 to 75 pg per ml, and then calcidiol 30 to 100 ng per ml. What are the functions? The functions are intestinal absorption of calcium and phosphorus. So it helps in the absorption of calcium and phosphorus. Then mineralization of bones, renal retention of calcium and phosphorus, then maturation and differentiation of mononuclear cells. Then it influences the cytokine production and immune function. That is why because it helps in our immune system. It stimulates our immune system, therefore it helps to produce the antibodies against coronavirus. Causes of impaired vitamin D action, that is when there is deficiency. What are the causes for deficiency of vitamin D? Vitamin D deficiency, impaired cutaneous production. When there is a very low levels of vitamin D, then cutaneous production will be, because of impaired cutaneous production, vitamin D will be going down. Dietary absence, again, then malabsorption. These three are causes for vitamin D deficiency. Then the acceleration of accelerates the loss of vitamin D are increased metabolism, impaired intrahepatic circulation, then nephrotic symptom. In all these cases, vitamin D will be lost. Okay. Then impaired 25 hydroxylation, that in case of liver diseases and isoniazid. Then impaired 1 alpha hydroxylation, that is in case of hypoparathyroidism, renal failure, ketoconazole, then 1 alpha hydroxylase mutations. Then target organ resistance, vitamin D receptor mutations, and phenytoin. So in all these cases, the vitamin D will be reduced. What are the deficiencies of how the deficiency exhibits in patients? In children, vitamin D deficiency causes rickets. In adults, vitamin D deficiency leads to osteomalacia, causing bone pain and muscle weakness. So the required doses of vitamin D is 200 milligrams international units per day to 400 international units per day. Then toxicity, when it increases, the very high levels of vitamin D causes toxicity, more than 50,000 international units per day. Then what are the uses? Rickets in children, vitamin D resistant rickets, vitamin D dependent rickets, then renal rickets. Osteomalacia in adults, this is not uses, this is the disease conditions. You just write it as disease conditions. Osteomalacia in adults, hypoparathyroidism, then calcitriol, plaque types of psoriasis. So this can be vitamin D can be used to treat the rickets in children. Then osteomalacia, to treat osteomalacia, then treat hypoparathyroidism. Usually this hypoparathyroidism patients, the vitamin D will be advised. Then calcipotriol that will be in plate type of psoriasis. Then coming to vitamin E. So used as an antioxidant in foods. So then since aging is considered as an oxidation reaction, many antioxidants are used as dietary supplements. Deficiencies are very rare. Role in prevention of stroke, cancer and immune response. Then this vitamin E is available in the form of alpha tocopherol, most abundant and potent. Then the sources of availability of vitamin E are cottonseed oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, wheat germ oil. These are the very richest sources. That is mostly vitamin E is available in the form of oils, mostly in the form of oils. Normal laboratory values, that is the normal values which we can observe in the laboratories are 5 to 18 micrograms per ml. Then functions. Vitamin E protects red RBC cells as an antioxidant and helps utilization of vitamin E. Manifestations of deficiencies. How these vitamin E deficiency is manifested. Muscular dystrophy, hemolytic anemia, hepatic necrosis. So this can be used in vitamin E deficiencies, G6PD deficiencies, acanthocytosis, then retrolental fibroplasia in premature infants, then hypovitaminous A, then intermittent claudications, and then nocturnal muscle cramps. So for this the adults will be given 400 milligrams per day and children will be given 200 milligrams per day. Next, vitamin K. This contributes to synthesis and gamma carboxylations of clotting factors 2, 7, 9 and 10. Clotting factor 2, clotting factor 7, clotting factor 9 and then 10. Can be reactivated to continue biological actions. Works as an cofactor for an enzyme that makes two bone proteins. So types of sources. Vitamin K is mostly available in green leafy vegetables. Vitamin K2 is called as farnoquinone. This is the product of metabolism of bacteria. During this metabolism that will be released. Vitamin K3 menadione. This is a synthetic analog 3 times more potent. Then normal laboratory values which can be observed, that is in laboratory tests, the normal values should range 0.13 to 1.19 Ng per milliliter. Then functions. It helps in blood clot formations. Vitamin K2 plays an important role in bone formations. Vitamin K prevents cardiovascular disease. Vitamin K cycle and connection to clotting pathways. So dietary intake, through dietary intake vitamin K is absorbed. Then vitamin K epixide reductase or DT diaphorase, then that will be connected that will be converted into vitamin K hydroquinone, that is active, and then vitamin K epixide inactive. Vitamin K epixide will be absorbed, and vitamin K dependent carboxylase, that is glutamic acid and carboxyglutamic acid. Why carboxy? Vitamin K and the clotting cascade. Vitamin K is a cofactor for formation of gamma carboxyglutamic acid residues in coagulation proteins, just like prothrombin, factor 7, 9 and 10. Vitamin K antagonists, warfarin, dicumarol and acenocomarol, that is oral anticoagulants. Contraindicated in pregnancies for fetal warfarin syndrome, to prevent fetal warfarin syndrome. In maintenance therapy of acute DVT and or pulmonary embolism following an initial course of heparin. Then preventing venous thromboembolisms in patients undergoing orthopedic or gynecological surgeries, recurrent coronary ischemia in patients with acute myocardial infarctions. Not only among these, there are so many conditions where this vitamin K can be administered for the patients with any necrotic ischemic and necrotic changes of the brain. Then when the clotting factors are not functioning, there are so many cases which this can be given. And nowadays there is most of the times we are hearing that they're taking this jeera water, that is boiling the jeera in water. That is also helps to promote this vitamin K. Then deficiency, liver diseases, obstructive jaundice, malabsorption syndrome, prolonged broad spectrum antimicrobial therapy, then prolonged use of sulfur drugs. Uses are deficiency state of vitamin K, hemorrhagic diseases of newborn, prolonged high doses of salicylate therapy, then overdose of oral anticoagulants. Dose may be 50 to 100 micrograms per day. Water soluble vitamins, that is B1, B2, B3, B6, B12. These are we are going to study. B1, thiamine. Sources are whole grains, pulses, nuts, green vegetables, yeast, eggs and meat. Tea, coffee, raw fish and shellfish contain thymines that destroys the thiamine. Which destroys the thiamine. Okay. Normal laboratory values are 0 to 2 micrograms per deciliter. Functions are thymine phosphate active form of thymine serves as a cofactor for several enzymes involved in carbohydrate catabolism. Then it helps in the hexose monophosphate shunt that generates nicotinamide adenine dinucleoid phosphate and peptidase for nucleic acid and synthesis. Then synthesis of acetylcholine and gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA. Then deficiencies causes poor dietary intake, alcoholism, advanced gastric cancers, prolonged hyperemesis gravidarium, then prolonged anorexia, bariatric bypass surgery for morbid obesity, then chronic diuretic therapy, then polished rice based diets. All these cause deficiencies. Manifestations, when there is a deficiency of thiamine, what are the manifestations? Here the picture also clearly shows the manifestations. You can read it very slowly afterwards. Then manifestation, early stage anorexia, irritability, decrease in short term memory, then prolonged deficiency cause beriberi, then dry type, or there are two types of beriberis, dry and wet type. This can be very much discussed in your med-surg also. Alcoholics, that is Vennex encephalopathy. For alcoholics, Vennex encephalopathy can be observed. Then TRMA, what is TRMA? Thiamine responsive megaloblastic anemia, the one type of anemia. Then where it can be used in treatment and prevention of thiamine deficiency include a specific disorder called Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, WKS, Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, that is related to very low levels of thiamine deficiency and is often seen in alcoholics. Okay. Then correcting the problems in people with certain types of genetic diseases including Lynch disease and maple syrup urine disease and others. Then next, riboflavin, that is vitamin B2. Sources are dairy products, cereals, breads, fish, eggs, legumes, Riboflavin is extremely sensitive to light. Normal laboratory values are adults 4 to 24 micrograms per deciliter. Then flavin adenine dinucleotide, that is FAD, and FMN, flamin mononucleotides. Cofactorin oxidation reduction reactions important for metabolism of carbohydrate and protein and fat. Then the deficiencies causes early scoliosis, then seborrheus, then Magenta tongue, and angular stomatitis. Angular stomatitis means this is very common in the girls, that is the two margins of the mouth, lips. Then in later stages, corneal vascularization, anemia, and personality changes. Then next niacin, that is P3. Energy metabolism disease, pellagra, and where we can observe 4 Ds, that is dermatitis, diarrhea, dementia, and death. So the sources are the sources of availability of vitamin B3 is liver, meat, fish, cereal husk, అంటే పైన పొట్టు అంటారు కదా దానిలలో. Then nuts, pulses. Nicotinic acid is this can be hypolipidemic agent, lowers LDL-C and triglycerides and increases HDL. C. Profound adverse effects of profile. Then contraindicated in pregnancy, peptic ulcers, diabetic, and gout patients. Then the functions are nicotinic acid and nicotinamide and biologically active derivatives. And then precursors of two coenzymes, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotides, that is NAD and NAD phosphates, important in numerous oxidations, reduction reactions, and adenine diphosphate and ribose transfer reactions involved in DNA repair and calcium metabolism. So here you can see the signs and symptoms which are observed on the face, neck, hands, and legs, over the legs also. Okay, so that is called pellagra. Pelle means skin, agra means rough. Found in populations eating high corn based diet. Mostly the children, they like corn preparations. This is mokkojonna antam kada adi. Then alcoholics, Hantup disease, then Carcinoid syndrome, and characterized by dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. Incidence is more in women. This can be used to treat pellagra, nicotinic acid, hypolipidemic in peripheral vascular diseases. Then vitamin B5, that is pantothenic acid. Sources are liver, mutton, whole grains, egg yolks, and vegetables. Components of coenzyme A are involved in carbohydrates, fats, steroids, and porphyrin metabolism. Then heme synthesis, formation of ketone bodies, acetylcholine formations, and citric acid formations, TCA cycle starters. There is no clinical deficiency. Then vitamin B6, that is pyridoxine. The sources are liver, meat, eggs, soya beans, vegetables, and whole grains. Normal laboratory values are adults 5 to 30 milligrams per ml. Then functions, pyridoxine phosphate acts as coenzyme in synthesis of non-essential amino acids, tryptophan and sulfur containing amino acid metabolism, then formation of 5-HT, dopamine, histamine, GABA, and amino levinic acid. The deficiency, how the deficiency occurs. Isoniazid causes pyridoxine deficiency, then that causes hydrolyzine and cycloserine and penicillamine interfere with the pyridoxine utilizations. Then oral contraceptives. Those who are using the oral contraceptives, they can have this deficiency. Then what are the clinical manifestations? How it appears? Seborrheic dermatitis, growth retardation, mental confusion, convulsions, peripheral neuritis, then cytoplastic anemia. This is also another type of anemia. Then high intake, sensory neuropathy and dependency. Okay, so high intake of B6 causes sensory neuropathy and dependency. Then it promotes peripheral decarboxylation of levodopa. Then what are the sources? It mostly available in liver, kidney, milk products, egg yolks, vegetables, legumes, and grains. Then coenzyme for carboxylase is required for various carbon dioxide transfer reactions in fatty and metabolism, fatty acid metabolism, then amino acid catabolism, then gluconeogenesis. Then deficiency occurs in case of prolonged raw egg white intake. Some people, they will just break the egg, raw egg, and they will take the white and they will throw the yellow. Then biotin free total parenteral nutrition. Then symptomatology that includes dermatitis of extremities, anemia, muscle pain, depression, somnolence, anorexia. Among infants, hypotonic, lethargy, apathy, and alopecia. Then the next one is B9. Here the for B9, folic acid also is very much needed. It occurs yellow crystals which are insoluble in water, but its sodium salt is freely soluble in water. Absorption occurs in jejunum. What is the jejunum? Where is it? Just below the duodenum. Then dietary sources are liver, green leafy vegetables, egg, meat, milk, and soya beans. Then malabsorptions occurs. MOA is malabsorption. Occurs folic acid, then dihydrofolic acid, and tetrahydrofolic acid, and 1 carbon transfer reactions. What are the functions? It helps in synthesis of purines, pyridinamines, and nucleic acids. The deficiency causes again anemia, then large erythrocytes. The erythrocytes becomes very large in size. That is macroerythrocytes. Requirements are one person needs 1 to 4 milligrams per kg body weight. What are the uses? Where this can be used? Uses means in which conditions it is used. In treating the megaplastic anemia, then in methotrexate toxicity cases, then citrovorum factor rescues, then as an anti-epileptic therapy. Then deficiency causes anemia, large erythrocytes, already just now we discussed, epithelial damage, general debility, weight loss, and sterility. So again, not having the children, unable to bear the children. Adverse effects are oral folic acid is entirely non-toxic. Sensitivity reactions will occur. Then B12. So here folic acid has been discussed here a bit. The sources are liver, green leafy vegetables, egg, meat, milk. Normal laboratory values of adults are 150 to 450 Ng per ml cells. Then functions: folic acid, that is inactive, then DHFA and THFA, that is coenzyme, and bifolate reductase and dihydrofolate reductase respectively mediates number of 1 carbon transfer reactions, conversion of homocysteine to methionine, then generation of thymidate, that is constitutes of DNA, and then conversion of serine to glycine, then purine synthesis and histidine metabolism. The deficiency of folic acid causes inadequate dietary intake, then malabsorptions, then chronic alcoholism, then pregnancy and lactations. During pregnancy and lactations, naturally this folic acid reduces. That is why pre-conceptual preconceptional supplementation of folic acid will be given. Then prolonged therapy of anticonvulsants and oral contraceptives. Manifestations are megaloblastic anemia, epithelial damage, then neural tube defects in offsprings, and then general debility, weight loss, and sterility. Prophylactic folic acid supplementation in second and third trimester along with vitamin K in the last month of pregnancy is recommended. Actually, one point you have to add, the folic acid will be iron and folic acid will be given for mothers, but folic acid will be given in the preconception period, that is before conception, because for the complete development of neural tube, because the neural plate will be the development of neural plate will be completed by third week of the pregnancy. So preconceptional folic acid intake by the mother is most important. So the mother has to be given before conception itself. The folic acid has to be given so that the neural tube completion will be completed. So of course, but second and third trimester also it is very much needed. So here the cycle is given. This you can read. Okay, so there are different forms of pyrimethamine that is used in the combination of sulfonamide and dapsone. Then methotrexate that is used in choriocarcinoma and children with acute leukemias and lymphomas, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, then breast, bladder and head and neck cancers, rheumatic arthritis, psoriasis, as also an immunosuppressant. Then for tremoxazole, bacterial folate metabolism blocker will be. So we will go back for B12. The sources are just animal sources like B12. Now we are going to discuss B12. Just animal sources, then laboratory values, then the functions are conversion of homocysteine and methionine protein synthesis, then formation of adenosine methionine and needful for phospholipid and myelin synthesis, then cell growth and replication. Intrinsic factors secreted by parietal cell and gastric mucosa in required for absorption. Then the metabolic functions are vitamin B12 is intricately linked with folate metabolism in many ways, like megaloblastic anemia occurring due to the deficiency of either indistinguishable. In addition to B12 has some independent functions as well as it is essential for conversion of homocysteine to methionine. Then vitamin B12 is essential for cell growth and multiplication. Then this is also essential for degeneration of spinal cord. Okay, so here hence all these vitamins. Vitamin B. Then comes next vitamin C. So vitamin C is ascorbic acid. The sources are citrus fruits like amla, green leafy vegetables, potatoes and tomatoes. L-ascorbic acid is naturally occurring form. Laboratory values for adults are 0.4 to 1 milligram per deciliter. Then the functions are cellular oxidation and reduction reactions, so the collagen synthesis, absorption of iron, formation of catecholamine and serotonin and ferritin and also tetrahydrofolate. Then it has a very great role in stress. Now the COVID, for control of coronavirus also it is mostly used. The scurvy only seen in malnourished infants and children and elderly and alcoholics and drug addicts. The manifestations are capillary fragility increased, delayed wound healing, swollen gums, poor dentin formation in children. The dentin will not be properly formed. Then poor mineralization of bone and anemia. Then this is also called as bachelor scurvy. The required doses are 50 to 500 milligrams per day. So here the pictures with signs and symptoms. So next comes the minerals: calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, uh, then chloride, manganese, and iron. So iron first, this is very important because most of the girls, teenage girls, and women, the women who are antenatal, postnatal, and also other till who reaches the menopause will have this common problem. This is a bit less in men. So iron distribution in the body: total body iron in adults is 2.5 to 5 grams. It is more in men than women. So for a woman, it is distributed in hemoglobin, and iron stores in ferritin and hemoglobin 25%, myoglobin 3%, and parenchymal iron is 6%. Hemoglobin, it is a porphyrin. It is a porphyrin. Each molecule having 4 iron containing heme residues. It has 33% iron. So the daily requirements is adult male 0.5 to 1 gram, adult female 1 to 2, infants 60 micrograms per kg, children 25 micrograms, and pregnancies 3 to 5 milligrams. Iron absorption: the average daily diet containing 10 to 20 milligrams of iron. Its absorption occurs all over the intestines, but very high in upper part of duodenum. Okay, so here the facilitating and impeding factors you can read: acid and ascorbic acid, amino acid, and meat. Then impeding are alkalis, phosphates, phytates, and tetracyclines, and other food in stomach. Iron, how it transports, storage, and excretion of iron. Iron is transmitted in blood in combination with a glycoprotein transferrin. It binds ferric acid. Then the total plasma content of iron is 3 milligrams. Iron is stored in RE cells in liver, spleen, bone, and in bone marrow, and very less in hypocytes and myocytes as ferritin and hemosiderin. Iron is tenaciously conserved by the body. Daily excretion in adult male is 0.5 to 1 gram, mainly as exploited, that is mucosal cells, some RBCs, and also in bile. In menstruating women, monthly menstruation loss may be averaged about 0.5 to 1 gram per day. Iron deficiency anemia is very common. Iron deficiency is the commonest cause of anemia. Iron deficiency also accompanies repeated attacks of malaria, chronic inflammatory diseases. Then megaloblastic anemia. We discussed about this when there is a risk of hemolysis or hemoptysis is induced by vitamin B12 or folate therapy. Iron deficiency may be unmasked. Okay, as an astringent, ferric chloride or throat pain will be there. Then calcium, 99% is structural, 25% is absorption. Vitamin D aids for absorption. 75% is obtained from dairy products. Many products are fortified with it and built in youth and lost in maturity. Osteoporosis, which is a very common problem in adults. Pediatric diseases with geriatric consequences. Upper respiratory, okay. Then DRA women will have the daily requirements for women 600 to 800 milligrams per day. The DR means the daily requirement of intake. Phosphorus, easily absorbed by the body, enhanced by vitamin D deficiency or rare. And potassium, a very primary electrolyte in the blood, then associated with lower blood pressures. Then for athletes, supplementation is very much needed. Then sodium and chloride added during the processing enhances flavor. Then excessive sodium can lead to hypotension, and then it leads to high blood pressure. Then sulfur, it is necessary for collagen formation. Magnesium is very much abundant in plants. So here is a conclusion. Vitamins and minerals play well established biomedical roles and cellular well levels and are essential in life. Then in circumstances where nutrient intake from diet is inadequate, a multivitamin and mineral supplement may be recommended. Specific people who might benefit from supplements include infants and children, pregnant and breastfeeding women, and older people, and people who are taking several medications, and those on restricted diets. Poor vitamin D status is a particular cause for concern, and DOH has re-emphasized its advice to health professionals. Director of Health, DOH is Director of Health. The Director of Health emphasized for the professional that pregnant and breastfeeding women, children aged to 1 to 4 years, and the people of above 65 years, people with darker skin, those who are not exposed to sunlight should take a supplement. And the Director of Health also advised intake of vitamin D or supplements of vitamin D should be given for breastfed babies. Then, however, the suggestion has been made for all the babies they should receive vitamin D. Okay, so that is about vitamins and minerals. Hope you understood well. This is very simple topic which is already read by you as I told you. Okay, thank you.